Welcome to my practice today. I'm going to do a couple of unusual things today just to kind of warm up. This is the kind of practice you may want to do after you've kind of been through something. Whether you've had a big emotional thing happen in your life, or you've had a big physical thing happen in your life, or you just took a killer yoga workshop weekend and you just kind of need to continue to move, but you don't want to push the envelope too hard. So anyway, we're going to move into kind of a gentle practice here. It's also happens to be rainy here, so it's a great practice to do for a rainy time. So let's come down onto your back. And take your arms straight out into a T. Feet as wide as your mat, so drop the knees into touch and constructive rest pose. So just let yourself feel the floor underneath you, the center of the back of the head, heavy on the floor, back of the shoulders. Is there any difference in the way you're bearing the weight in the back of the shoulders? How about the arms? How about the back of the pelvis? Does it feel like you're bearing the weight symmetrically? Is your lumbar curve lifted? Do you feel it just maybe lightly touching the mat? So just see what you notice. Even how maybe the inner edges of the feet are bearing some weight. Relax your jaw. Take a big deep breath in. Big full exhale out. Through the mouth or through the nose, whatever you prefer. Inhale in. Exhale out. One more, inhaling in. And a big exhale out. So we're just going to start to rotate the arms a little bit. So keeping the left palm turned up, turn the right palm down. You feel the inner right shoulder rotate in and down, and the left shoulder externally rotates and maybe lifts up. And now do the opposite. Rotate the left palm down, turn the right palm up. And just go back and forth very gently. So I inhale and I start to shift. I exhale and I let my arms land. I inhale, I lift up, start to rotate the other way. Exhale, one palm goes down, one palm turns up. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, and stomach. So a few more rounds like this. And then return to kind of a neutral place, both palms turned up. Now we're going to do basically the same thing with the rotation of the hands, but we're going to take one arm up and overhead and the other arm is going to lower down. So I'm going to turn left palm down, right palm up, and then slide my right arm up as I slide my left hand down. And then bring my hands back to center. When I'm back out into a T, flip the position, turn the left palm up, the right hand down. Take your left arm up and overhead, slide the right arm down alongside the body. Bring your arms back into a T position. Turn the right palm up, the left palm down. Take the right arm up and overhead and the left arm down. So you see how it is, right? You can come back through center and just rotate. Right when you get to that T position, flip the palms. And just take the arms up and overhead, one at a time, down alongside of the body, one at a time. So you're rotating, internally rotating and externally rotating the shoulders in a really gentle way. Just one more round. Come come back to center with arms out in a T, and then turn both palms up. Now rest your shoulders on the floor, close your eyes. Just feel the difference between what's going on now and when we first started. There's probably a little bit more juice, life. You know, if your shoulders started out fatigued, you might be still feeling that, but with a little bit more energy surrounding it. Now we're going to roll to your side, come on up to a seat. And if you would, please take something to sit on. So I'm going to take a yoga blanket. This is a wool blanket. I'm going to fold it in half again, so I have a long rectangular fold, and I'm going to sit up on it. So for me, when I come into an upright seated position like this, I have a little bit more tightness in my right hip. So when I'm sitting like this looks like your left, but it's my right. So when I'm sitting like this leg may be elevated a little bit more. When I sit up on a little bit of height, and I move my sitting bones, the ischial tuberosity is kind of back and out to the sides, then my femurs can descend from my pelvis, and it's going to be a more comfortable way for my low back and just overall for any time to sit in a seated position. So find a seat, because we're going to be here for a little bit, kind of working continuously with the arms and the shoulders. So just once you find your seat, hands to your thighs. As the arm bones lift, come forward and up. Roll back. Take your head back as well, not tipping the chin up, but ears on train tracks. And then just slide the shoulder blades down the back. And then do come forward a little bit. Shrug a little bit. Bring the shoulders up. Roll the shoulders back. Head goes back. Slide the shoulders down. A couple more rounds, a little more fluidly. So inhale, come forward, lift up and shrug. Exhale, slide down the back body. Inhale, come forward, lift. Exhale, roll the shoulders down. Great. So now setting your left hand to your side, take your right arm up and reach over to the left. And as you reach over, maybe left hand slides out. You can press your left fingertips down and isometrically away from you, and it'll help you root down more fully on the right side. So really getting a nice deep stretch all along the right side. And see if you can find that sense of both shoulder heads moving back, head resting back against an imaginary headrest. Come on. Right hand to the floor, left arm up, tall on the left side. And then just start your crescent. Walk your right hand out, and rather than letting yourself lift up on the left side, use your right hand to press forward isometrically so you can root yourself down on that left side and deepen the stretch on the side body. And come on back to center. Great, so hands to the knees. Now let yourself just totally round forward. Drop your head, show your shoulders, and then just the opposite. Bring your heart forward, roll your shoulders back. So exaggerate the curve in the lumbar, lifting the heart, even lift the chin just a little bit. And then exhaling, deep rounding of the back. Lean back, let your arms straighten. So don't try to do this with bent arms. Lean back, let your arms completely straighten so you can feel get into the upper back. Come forward, bring the heart forward, roll the shoulders back, a little bit of a back bend, and come back to center. And we're just going to move the body around a little bit in a circular fashion, so moving the rib cage around. So we'll start moving right ribs over to the right, then forward, and to the left, and back. To the right, and forward, to the left, and back. To the right, forward, to the left, and back. And come back to center, to the left, forward, to the right, and back. To the left, forward, to the right, and back. The left, forward, to the right, back. Come back to center. Now just take your arms, reach back behind you, take the hands to a clasp, roll the shoulder heads up and back, and just see if you can straighten your arms. Maybe the hands are touching the floor, maybe they're lifting a little bit away from the low back. So just starting to open up a little bit through the chest here. So as you're able to sit tall, the low belly draws in and up. The lumbar curve maintains its natural position. And with the shoulder heads moving back, maybe the hands lift a little bit. Now whatever you got going on, chances are the shoulder blades may even be feeling like they're kind of crashing into one another. So see if you can take a big inhale in and spread the top of the shoulder blades apart. And release. One more time. Inhale, spread the shoulder blades apart. And release. Good. So bring your arms out in front. Take your hands into a clasp. Press the palms forward. And bring the arms up. So it may be that the arms go straight up and vertical, or it may be that the arms are going to come forward at a little bit of an angle. I realize you can't see my full arm stretch here, but the arm is reaching up. And then exhale and bring them forward. So slight rounding the back. Inhale, come forward, maybe increasing the range of motion each time. Exhale, slightly round the back, let the arms come forward. And one last time. Sitting tall, drawing the low back in and up, and reaching up through the arms. And then releasing the arms down. Okay, so just let your arms completely relax now for a moment. Alright, so we're going to take your hands to the floor in front of you and walk your hands forward. You can be up on the fingertips. Just make sure you don't walk so far forward that your sitting bones lift. So even here, like we did when we went to the side, you can press your fingertips forward to try to root your sitting bones down. Maintain a little lift in the low belly. Now for some of you, coming forward like this is already challenging enough, so that direction may not make sense for you. Maybe if you're a little bit tighter, you just don't come as far forward, because I don't want you to be lifting up the sitting bones, and I don't want you to be overly rounding the back, right? So you could be anywhere in between there. Now if you're a little stiffer, staying up tall like this, take your hands over to the right. It's just a slight twist. If you're a little bit more flexible, walk the hands forward. Get a deep stretch down the left side. Now lifting up about halfway, you're going to take your right hand, see if you can reach it over, and take a hold of the left knee. So you make a little X, and maybe look under the arm. Try to keep the sitting bones down. If you're a little bit tighter, the hand doesn't come all the way to the knee. Maybe you just make a little X with the hands. Try to keep those sitting bones nice and rooted as you take your version of the pose. Slowly come on up. Now we'll walk the hands over to the left. So you can be in, further forward. Walking the right hand out and to the left. So just be here for a moment before you start to make an X with the arms. And then the left hand reaches over and maybe takes a hold of the right knee. So make sure both sitting bones are rooted and maybe looking underneath your right arm. A pretty deep stretch down the side. And then slowly come on back to center. That's deep. Alright, so now we're going to take the arms behind you and just take a hold of your elbows. As soon as the arms go into the back plane, the shoulders have a tendency to come forward. So we're going to lift them and try to draw the shoulders back as you just sit here for a moment. Trying to keep the heads of the arm bones drawing back. And then a little bit of work in the belly. So draw the low belly up toward the sternum and vice versa. continuing to breathe. And then release the arms. Let your hands rest on your knees or your thighs. All right, now we're going to come up to hands and knees. So, if you feel like your mat is a little bit hard, then please feel free to use a blanket underneath your knees. We'll work through a few rounds of cat and cow. So, hands pretty much under the shoulders. Very mindful foundation through the hands, so please make sure you're pressing evenly through the periphery of the palm, through the length of each finger. And then just a little, wherever your breath takes you as you exhale through the torso. On your inhale, looking forward gently, lifting your seat. And then exhale, right in the middle of thoracic spine, reaching up toward the ceiling. Press your low belly up towards your spine and release your breath, and just be in this breathless state in your cat arch. And when you're ready to breathe, soften the heart down, lengthen the spine again. Begin your inhale, looking forward, lifting the seat. And then exhale. Dropping the head. Inhale. Looking forward. And exhale. Deep rounding the back. Hang in a breathless place. And inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Bring the elbows down to the floor, elbows underneath the shoulders. To bring your hands to a prayer position, we're just going to take a little dolphin pose. So curl the toes under, lift the knees. Walk your feet forward, and keeping your knees bent, press your forearms forward. And feel free to just use your breath to start to open up the legs a little bit. You exhale. Maybe the hips lift a little bit more as the heels try to root toward the floor. And then go ahead and set the knees down. Come back to hands and knees. We'll take your first down dog, so just go ahead and come on into it. So full, strong foundation. Bending knees, length through the spine. Maybe rocking back a little bit toward the back of the ball of the foot. Lifting the toes. See if the mid-heel can get closer to the floor than the inner heel or the outer heel. You can roll up onto the ball of the foot and then lift the sitting bones. So super strong through the legs. If you're having any issues with a hamstring pull or anything like that, then keep your heels a little bit closer to the floor. Keep your knees bent. And keep your glutes supporting your pose. So your glutes always a little bit rotating underneath the body if you're coming back from a hamstring injury. Now we're going to step forward and just come to a forward fold. And we're going to hold out this forward fold for a little bit. So just letting yourself be in the inversion. And the hands come to rest wherever they come to rest. So if your forward fold looks a lot different than mine, make sure you have some blocks up to support the hands. You can have your hands up on your ankles or your shins. And then just be aware of where you're bearing the weight in your feet. So you can feel the periphery of the feet as you shift the weight a little bit. You can also do this pose with bent knees. And then maybe taking a hold of the elbows. A little bit of a rocking from side to side if that feels good to you. Or just simply letting yourself be here. Engage the thighs, engage the glutes. So we're not letting this all just kind of go. Glutes are reaching down toward the floor, engaged. So whether you have straight legs or bent legs, again, it's immaterial, but keep the thigh muscles engaged and the glutes engaged as you work more deeply with the hamstrings here. Now we're going to set the hands and step back to downward dog. Bend your knees pretty deeply. Move your sitting bones back. And then rooting down through the heels, start to straighten the legs just a little bit. Glutes strong, low belly strong. And then we're going to set the knees back down. Have a rest in child's pose. Arms kind of wrap around the sides of the body. Just rest your forehead.